I didn't come to restore because it sounded poetic. I came to restore because something broke. Something shifted. Something sacred slipped out of alignment. And we kept walking like we didn't feel the limp. I came to restore because God whispered, "Return to me and I will return to you." Malachi 3:7. And I realized restoration isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. We restore because somewhere along the way, we traded God's order for our own survival. We traded His voice for our wounds. We traded His design for our defense mechanisms. We traded His peace for patterns that felt familiar but didn't heal us. We restore because the garden wasn't just a story, it was a blueprint. And we've been building from broken instructions ever since. Where did we go wrong? Let me say it plain. We went wrong when man stopped listening to God and woman started carrying what she was never built to hold. We went wrong when fear became our teacher and pain became our prophet. We went wrong when we let wound speak louder than the word. We went wrong when we forgot that unless the Lord builds the house, the builder's labor is in vain. Psalms 127:1. We went wrong when we tried to fix spiritual fractures with emotional bandages. When we tried to heal generational trauma with temporary distractions. When we tried to outrun what only God could uproot. We restore because pretending didn't work. Avoiding didn't work. Blaming didn't work. Performing didn't work. Surviving didn't work. We restore because God is still calling us back. Back to His voice, back to His order, back to His rhythm, back to His intent. We restore because the damage was real, but so is the promise. We restore because God said, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." Joel 2:25. We restore because it's not too late. Not for the wounded, not for the wounder, not for the family, not for the heart that's tired of pretending it's fine. Not for the men who forgot who he was. Not for the women who forgot she was never meant to carry it alone. Not for the children who learned survival before safety. It's not too late because God specializes in beginnings that come disguised as endings. It's not too late because grace doesn't expire and mercy doesn't run out of breath. It's not too late because the same God who saw the fall also wrote the restoration. So this is the call. This is the invitation. This is the reason we restore. Because God is still willing. Because healing is still possible. Because alignment is still available. Because the story isn't finished. Because the damage is not the destiny. Because the wound is not the identity. Because the broken place is not the burial place. We restore because God is still saying, "Behold, I will make all things new." Revelations 21:5. And I believe Him.